What's up, y'all? It's another day out here at the levee. I am still quarantined here with Graham. I haven't been posting a lot of new content from here in quite a minute because of since me and Graham crashed together pretty hard. My knee has been messed up, but I am almost fully recovered. I will be doing a questions and answers video today. Over the past few days, I did post a bunch of videos of Graham's Insight series. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope y'all get to know him a little bit better. He will be on the channel a lot here in the future. But yeah, I posted on my story on Instagram and on YouTube just to ask a question. There should be over 100 questions today, so I'm just gonna sit down and answer all those. So make sure you guys just sit around and stay tuned. Also, most of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you guys want to, feel free to subscribe and stay tuned with all the new videos. There will be a video of wakeboarding every second day forever, so make sure you guys subscribe. Let's get started. All right, so I'm just gonna start with the YouTube questions. I'm gonna read them off and I'll just answer them all. Hey bro, are you planning on coming to Perth Wake Park in Western Australia? Big love, bro. You chill as heck. Mad fans over here these ways. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I am planning to come to Perth Wake Park at some point. I have quite a few friends over there. Especially, I just met all the Heatley boys. I had a super good time with them over in Australia when I was just there. I won't be going this year. I may be going next winter, just because right now it's Australia's winter, and this coronavirus situation is really preventing me from really traveling somewhere else. So I do plan on going to Perth Wake Park at some point. It looks super sick there, so I will be there eventually. Would you ever consider snowboarding for a vlog? Yeah, I could see myself doing that maybe. If I ever have the chance to go snowboarding, or if I ever end up in like cold weather. I'm usually chasing summer all the time, so I actually haven't ever really been snowboarding except one time when I was a little kid. But if I get the chance to go, I'll definitely make a vlog about it. Is Next Level Ride closed down? I'm moving to Austin soon and I'm looking for places to ride. Unfortunately, Next Level Ride is closed down for now. Yeah, some of my good friends are the owners and they are actually closing the park, which is extremely unfortunate for me because it is my favorite park in the whole world. If you guys want it to open, feel free, anybody on this channel, if y'all want to head on over to the Next Level Ride Instagram and just comment on their latest post and tell them that you want them to open so that I could have my favorite wake park in the world to ride at every single day. That would be super, super awesome if all you guys could do that. But yeah, I'd be so stoked if y'all did that. What's your favorite cable park in the United States? My favorite cable park is Next Level Ride. It is unsure that it will open up again or not, but it is my favorite cable park. I have the most fun there. I have the most friends there, and it's just like the best vibes for me. So Next Level Ride would be my favorite park. Will you be making an edit from your last trip to Bayside Wake Park? So I went to Bayside Wake Park in Australia, and this was actually my favorite wake park there that I went to on this trip. The vibes were awesome. It was a super good time. I did actually already make a video from there. It was a POV video. It is on my channel. If you want to go look it up, you can just type in Bayside Wake Park. You should be able to find it. And yeah, hope you enjoy it. Hey JB, what's your height and weight in metric? I don't really know. I would say I weigh 150 to 155 pounds if you guys want to convert that on over. And I am about 5'10" or 11. I'm not really sure. I haven't measured my height since like high school. So yeah, if you guys want to do the conversion, feel free. When did you start wakeboarding? I started wakeboarding in 2004. Yeah, that's kind of like the very first time I kind of wakeboarded, and yeah, fell in love and been doing it ever since. When am I coming to the UK to visit your buddy Dave AV? I'm not sure, but when this quarantine is over, I would like to get to the UK at some point. Actually, Dave AV just showed up here yesterday and he's joining us on our quarantine. Hopefully he doesn't bring us any coronavirus, but yeah, he's just gone on lockdown with us and we should be filming a lot of really cool stuff. Are you going to Thailand anytime soon? Maybe this winter. I could go do Thailand, Phillies, then Australia. I haven't done Thai Wake Park yet, and there are a few new Thai Wake Parks that I would really like to try. Plus, I really enjoy International Wake Park over there. I had a good time there last time. So yeah, I would like to get there again. Hopefully this winter. I'm not sure if it'll happen or not, but I would like to. When's the next time you'll be back at OWC? Can't wait to spin the cable for you again. Thanks. Hopefully soon. I mean, if coronavirus goes away, I should be going to Orlando very soon. I want to film a lot of boat over there with Taylor McCullough and Dallas Friday. They both ride for Centurion boats like I do, and I'd just like to get a lot of content on those boats since, yeah, I don't know, I'm just filming all the time, and I think it'd be cool to film those too. And in the meantime, I would definitely be going to OWC a lot. When are you coming to Latino America? I'm not sure. Do you have another job besides YouTube? Yeah, I am a professional wakeboarder, and that's where the majority of my income comes from. YouTube is just sort of like a secondary thing. So yeah, I also film and edit videos sometimes, like freelance videography, just to make a little bit of extra cash if I need to, but I really don't do that often. Do you need to return your boards that you got from Hyperlite? No, I don't need to return the boards. If I do happen to break one every once in a while, I will have to just take a photo and then they will warranty me a new one. But yeah, no, I don't have to return those boards. I am an athlete for Hyperlite and they provide them for me. So I'm very grateful for that. And whenever the new year rolls over, I will hop on all the new product, and it's just kind of a continuing cycle. But yeah, super grateful to be on Hyperlite boards all the time. Do you have any good exercises you can do in order to stay in shape for wakeboarding and other board sports? Right now, I don't really do any exercise other than wakeboarding. Sometimes I like skateboard or just walk around with my dog Airbud and just whatever, just live my day. I don't have any specific workouts or anything like that. I think if you wakeboard a lot, you should stay in shape. But if not, maybe any exercises that would be good for your knees. Maybe like do squats, get your legs really strong. That would be helpful for wakeboarding, just so like you don't blow your knees out. Maybe some shoulder workouts would be good, but to be honest, I don't really go to the gym at all. What made you get into wakeboarding? My dad, back in like 2004 kind of time, we had a board that came with our family little runabout boat that we had, and it was like a wakeboard with sandals on it, and my dad actually got me to try it. And at that point, I didn't really like it because like we didn't know what we were doing, and I had a really hard time getting up on the board and things like that. It wasn't until later, and I tried out a board with actual like bindings on it. It was actually the first board that had bindings on it that I tried was a Hyperlite board. It was on a friend's boat, and I really enjoyed it from then on out because I kind of figured it out, and it was a lot more fun once I got up and cruising. Who's taking care of Airbud right now? Me. Airbud's here with me, and we've just been hanging out. He's been having tons of fun running around the fields here at the levee. This is pretty much the most epic location for him right now, so yeah, he's pretty stoked. Are you going to come to Germany someday? Yeah, I was supposed to come to Germany this year. Me and Graham and a few of the other Hyperlite boys are supposed to come to Germany, and the coronavirus just ended up making us all cancel, so we cannot end up going on that trip this year. But if it does lift, we would like to get over there just because it's so popular. Wakeboarding is so popular there with all the cable parks, and it should be a good time. How many different boards do you regularly ride? Do you ever try out a friend's setup when you ride together? I usually just ride the wishbone or the union shape. They're extremely similar, so those are like the two I ride because I like them the most. Sometimes I ride the jam, and normally if I am filming, I ride the jam just because it has less rocker than the wishbone. So if I'm out there filming, I don't want to get like tired at all. So the jam is like super fast on the water and you don't get tired at all. So I'll use that board a bit for filming, but that's really kind of like the only boards I ride really. If I wasn't wakeboarding, what do you imagine you'd be doing for a living? My dad used to own a pool company, and he just had a lot of clients, and we would do pool service on different pools. So if I didn't start wakeboarding and I didn't run into like this career, I would end up probably just doing pool service and taking over his company. But I chose wakeboarding instead. He sold that. He's retired now. And yeah, that's probably what I'd be doing. How long have you been wakeboarding, and who was your inspiration to start wakeboarding? I've been wakeboarding since 2004. I said that a minute ago, and my dad is who actually got me to try wakeboarding, and he pushed me to just kind of keep doing it a bit. But it wasn't till like I met some people like Billy Garcia or Mitch Bergsma or a bunch of like the local pros, until like whenever I met those guys, I saw like that really cool stuff could be done on a wakeboard, and I thought that was cool, so I really wanted to like keep doing it. So yeah, that was kind of like my first inspiration. What's my favorite type of board? Hyperlite wakeboards are my favorite. They seem to be extremely durable, and yeah, the wishbone and the union are my favorite two shapes. I think I said that already, but yeah, that's my favorite boards. How can we win the board you received by mistake? So I do have a 138 union at my house right now. I said that I was going to give it away in a giveaway for any of you guys subscribing or whatever, but I'm not going to give it away yet just because coronavirus is happening right now. I want to wait till this is over and you guys actually have the opportunity to ride. So I will start the giveaway around then. I'll make a video about it, and you guys can all do whatever I require, and then you can enter, and hopefully one of you guys wins, and you'll be riding a brand new Hyperlight Union. What are your tips for doing a Rayleigh for the first time? My tips would basically just be, don't be a pussy, honestly, because if you half-ass the trick, it's just never ever gonna work. So you really just need to get some balls and just fully commit. Otherwise, you're just never gonna be able to do it. And I know there's a lot of times where you sit there in your head and you're like, oh no, I'm not being scared, there's just some reason. Honestly, the reason you're probably being a pussy. So just don't be one, and you'll be able to do a Rayleigh for sure. Will you ever come to Deca Wake Park, Clark? Please do. Yeah, I definitely want to go and try out all the cable parks in the Philippines. I've still only really tried out Republic and CWC. I was supposed to go to some different ones this year, and it just ended up not happening. So hopefully if I do go to CWC this winter, I can try out a couple other parks out there, and that'll be a super good time. Are you going to visit Hypnotics again? I've actually never been to Hypnotics, but I've heard really great things. I've heard about a lot of like cool and fun people being out there, so I definitely want to go there in the future. That is one on my list that I really want to check out. Do you think you'll ever travel to New Zealand? Maybe. I don't even know if there's any wake parks there or not, but maybe I could go there and ride boat. I haven't ever really thought about that, but maybe one day. Will you be riding at West Rock this summer? For sure. If I get the opportunity, no, not if I get the opportunity to go up there. Whenever this virus is over, there's going to be a point of time where I end up driving my Prius up there, because there's no way I'm not going to go there this year. What's the trick that scares you the most? I wouldn't say there's a trick that scares me the most. I'd say kind of like maybe rails that don't have like side skirts on them that you could get hung up underneath. That really scares me a lot. I saw this clip of Andrew Adams from Shredtown before, and his knee actually hitting one of the posts and bending backwards around it. And that was probably one of my least favorite things to see. So I would say like rails that don't have any safety protection on the side are my least favorite, just because you wakeboard so fast. So yeah, that's kind of like what scares me the most, I'd say. Do I have any tips for landing blind? I do have a video on my channel for how to land blind consistently. If you type that in and search it, I'm sure the video will pop up. I have a lot of different things you can try out, and yeah, just check out that video and you should be able to land blind a lot more consistently. I will tell you one thing though, it's not going to happen in like 20 minutes. It's going to take a couple days, that's for sure. Are you supposed to come to Germany? Yeah, I kind of answered that already. I was supposed to come, but it got canceled. What age did you start wakeboarding? I started wakeboarding, I think I was like 13 or 14 in 2004. I'm not really sure. I'm still 19 right now though. Why don't you ride much boat very much anymore? Yeah, I should be riding boat right now, but this virus is kind of ruining things for me at the moment. But as soon as things get a little bit better, I am sharing a brand new Centurion boat with Ashley Kids, so there should be a lot of boat content this summer, so you guys will have a lot to watch, so stay tuned. How do I jump the wake from a boat and not crash? What's some advice on doing so? And by the way, I love the videos, keep them coming. Thanks. And basically how to jump wake to wake, or just to jump period, I'd say just kind of have like a progressive edge into the wake. Don't like try and do hard shortcuts or something where you're yanking on the handle a lot. Just kind of coast into the wake, get your pop, and if you are out of control, try and keep that handle somewhere near your front hip to kind of regain control. And yeah, eventually you will just get more comfortable and you won't be falling all the time. Just try a lot. Has Airbud learned any new tricks? No, he doesn't know any tricks. He kind of just knows how to be a good boy. He sits around, he follows me around, goes and plays, and he eats food, and he's soft and fun to pet. But as much as tricks, he can sort of sit sometimes, and Yeah, he just looks cute. That's about all he's got. Does the virus affect your opportunities to do wakeboarding? Because here in Hungary, all the cables won't open till it's over. Yeah, the virus is definitely affecting how I would normally wakeboard, just because all of the cable parks in Texas are closed. Luckily enough, I am here at the levee and I have really good opportunity to be able to ride all the time. So I will be wakeboarding here every day. I should be healed in a couple days from my knee injury where Graham's board ran into my knee. But yeah, it's definitely affecting everyone. There's not really many people in America with the ability to wakeboard right now, unless they have a private boat slip on the water so they can get a boat on the water. But yeah, it's affecting me a lot. What is your filming board? I use the Jam or a sample dipstick. Yeah, they're just a lot faster than some of the other boards, so it's really nice to film with those ones. I do enjoy riding them too, but I like a little bit slower of a board on the water, but I film on those boards. What's the word on NLR? Still closed. Why did you get a doink car? The Prius is far from doink. It's actually my favorite car I've ever had. It gets around 60 miles per gallon whenever you drive it like a grandma. And I can go pretty much anywhere in this country for free. I mean, not for free, but I could get to Orlando from Austin, Texas. I don't know, for like anywhere in between 40 and 60 bucks. It's really, really great on fuel and saves a lot of money, and it lets me get to every single cable park I want. So I'd say that's far from doink. Do you have to do things for your sponsor that you don't want to do? And will you come to Belgium soon? No, not really. Like most of the things for my sponsors that I have to do just normally involves wakeboarding or talk to people about wakeboarding, or even like if I have to talk to dealers and things like that. These are people who enjoy wakeboarding and enjoy what I like to do. So there's not really much I'm doing that I don't like. Yeah, it's pretty great. Hey JB, what's the correct way of lacing the front strap and the Hyperlite system bindings? It's flexible and looks like a cap strap from snowboard bindings, but I've noticed that you just put it on top of your foot, not on the boot's nose. Thanks for your reply. I basically put it on top of my boot instead of the toe cap, because whenever the toe cap is on there, it's like extremely responsive, and yeah, I don't like it as responsive, so I just put it on top of my boot. But if you want the boot to be more responsive, you just put it over your toe cap, and it'll be quite a bit more responsive. But for me, I just put it right on top of my boot, and that seems to do just fine for me. But yeah, that's all of the questions on YouTube, and I will switch on over to Instagram and answer those ones. All right, just opened up my Instagram questions, and I'm going to start right now. Are you going to come back to Australia? Yes, I'm definitely going to come back to Australia next year. Had a super good time. I met a ton of cool people there. I went to quite a few parks, and yeah, it was a super great time. Coronavirus did end a lot of things for me, but I still made the best for it while I was there, and I definitely want to go back. Am I your best friend? From Jakey Wake 07. I actually met this guy. Jakey, met you in Australia, and I guess I would say you're probably my newest best friend. So yeah, congrats to you. Next question, will you be my friend? We already are friends. That's from my buddy Tanner Valentine. So yes, I will continue to be your friend. Are Angel's Burgers really made of CWC strays? Yeah, Airbud actually ate his own brother. I gave him a Angel's Burger one time, and he seemed to quite enjoy it as well. But yeah, it's true. How long have you been wakeboarding? Once again, since 2004. You guys can do the math. Is the Prius gang growing? Yeah, it's growing for sure. Graham got himself a Prius as well, so we both get mad gas mileage and we can go wherever we want for essentially hardly any money at all. Brady, on the other hand, he decided to go buy some other car that was not a Prius, and me and Graham are extremely disappointed with him, and it's kind of a bummer. And you know what, I want to ask, if any of you guys have watched this far into the video so far, you should go over to Brady's Instagram and comment on his latest post and tell him, hey dude, you should have got a Prius. It would have been way cooler than the car that you got. That would be awesome if you guys did that. When will you be coming back to Australia? Hopefully next American winter, and I will be there again. What are my plans for winter? Hopefully Thailand, Philippines, CWC. Maybe we'll add more, not really sure. Got to figure out what to do with Airbud in that time. Have you ever won a big contest? No, definitely not. I haven't been to very many big contests. One time a few years ago, Nikki, the owner of Next Level Ride, entered me in nationals, and I didn't actually want to ride the event because I just really have a bad attitude when I ride in contests. And I ended up getting 4th place, made it to finals at nationals at BSR Wake Park, and yeah, was pretty stoked on that. But that's pretty much the best result I've done in like a really big contest. So yeah, no, never won a big contest. Wake Crush. I don't think I currently have one, but yeah. What's the best beginner cable binding from Hyperlite? I don't know if there's such thing as really a beginner binding. Like if you want to, like I think a beginner could ride a pro binding. So if you wanted to ride a pro level binding, that would be actually the best binding to get. I think the higher the level binding gets, probably the better, just because they get more and more comfortable. So like even a pro level binding would be really good for a beginner. Next trip to O-Town. Whenever this coronavirus is over, I do want to drive over there. I mentioned earlier, want to film on some Centurion boats over there, so I should be getting there at some point. What gets you motivated to go out and ride every single time? I don't know. You know, I don't really know. I think just because like most of my friends hang out at the cable park, and I go there, I see them hang out, see them riding, and it kind of just gets me stoked to ride. So that's kind of my inspiration to ride every single day. Are you working on something bigger like the video Still Gonna Send It you did before? Yeah, I do have a couple clips saved so far. I haven't been like prioritizing my time on that, but I have some pretty cool clips saved up. So hopefully by the end of the year I can put together a full part. I'd be really hyped if I got that done. My favorite fleshlight. I'd say it'd be like the Tory Black edition. Yeah, I almost got sponsored by Fleshlight a couple years ago, and my ex-girlfriend got really pissed at me whenever that was going on, so it just didn't end up happening, unfortunately. Are you going to come rage with me in Dallas? I don't really rage, but I'd come hang out with you for sure. Is wakeboarding cliquey? Yeah, I'd say so. There's definitely a huge difference between wakeboarding on the cable and wakeboarding on the boat, and there's like people that are more core, and there's people that are less core and trying to reach out to everyone else. So it's just, yeah, it's kind of cliquey. There's some cool kids that are hanging out. Like the Alliance Wake magazine will kind of like stick to the kids they think are cool, and like, or like Space Mob kind of has their own little clique, and each of the teams kind of are like a clique too from each brand. But for the most part, everyone kind of gets along, but there are definitely separate cliques that accept different people into them. So yeah, it is pretty cliquey for sure. Why is the only other option die if you're not down with the Space Mob? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are in the Space Mob, and there's also a lot of people not in the Space Mob, and I don't really see a lot of people dying in the wakeboard community. So I guess, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be in the Space Mob if you don't want to, because I think most people are staying alive either way. Film a video part this year. Yeah, that's the plan. Definitely plan on getting that done at some point. Have some of the clips already, said that before, so gonna try and get that done. When are you back in the Philippines if the world goes back to normal? Next winter sometime for sure. My favorite cable to go to in the world. So yeah, CWC, great place. Gonna be there hopefully next winter. Favorite winch brand? The Rewinch, obviously it's the smallest winch out there, fits in a backpack, and bring it on a plane, has tons of power, and it looks super cool, and it's built really, really well. So yeah, the Rewinch. Check them out. What's your favorite tricks? Hello from France. There are some French words in there that I don't understand. I think it's just the same question in French. But my favorite tricks right now are just doing like wheelies or any tricks where like I'm transferring into a bank or landing in like a landing ramp where it's just like that smooth feeling. I really like that right now. I'm really kind of into that. So yeah, those are my favorite. Who are the most inspirational wakeboarders to me? Oh, yeah. There's a few, but they're really kind of different from each other. Like for instance, like Sean Murray is super inspirational just because, like, I don't know, he's just like so cool to everyone, super nice to everyone, and like, I don't know, he seems to like spread the stoke for wakeboarding better than everyone else. So Sean Murray is definitely someone who inspires me. Graham is someone who inspires me just because he can like go out and send some of the most messed up gaps you have ever seen. When I was younger, the local pros from from where I lived in Austin, like Billy Garcia and stuff like that. They really got me stoked out pretty early, and I've always liked Randall Harris on the boat, and yeah, he really sends it big. So yeah, those are kind of who inspires me the most. I'm sure there's more, so sorry if I forgot you. I didn't forget you, but in this questions I might have. What trick took you the longest to learn? The heel side frontside 360 on the boat. I probably took, man, at least 100 tries, at least 50 or more little hissy fits out there in the water, just screaming that I could not land this trick. I tried so many times and I just couldn't do it until finally, like one day it clicked, and then I went straight from 3 to 5 like in the next day, and then I could slowly just start spinning faster after that. But the heel side frontside 360 was the hardest trick I ever had to learn, and it's the trick I took the most tries on by far. And I'd like to say thanks to Billy Garcia and my dad for just sitting through and watching me do that, because it was probably the biggest waste of time of me just not being able to figure out something that shouldn't have been that hard. Are you ever going to stop wakeboarding? If my body breaks down one day, maybe I could see myself stopping. But yeah, I don't know. I see some people over the age of 60 and stuff. My dad just had a knee replacement. I taught him how to wakeboard, and yeah, I don't really see myself stopping, because it's always going to be a good time just going out there and cruising on the water. So yeah, probably never stop unless I cannot walk anymore or I have no arms. How do you check in my wakeboards at the airport? I just put them in my board bag, I roll it up, and I get a little ticket, stick it on there, and bring it to oversized baggage, and they check it in. Usually it doesn't cost anything extra. I usually say that they are golf clubs. That helps. Are the wake parks in Gold Coast still open? They're closed. Yep. All the wake parks in Australia are closed. What's my favorite trick on the cable and my favorite trick on the boat? Favorite trick on the boat is just blasting a big tangent blind or a big backside 180 in the flats. That's my favorite trick on the boat. And on the cable, wheelies and landing into transitions, like I said earlier. How much does it cost to set up a System 2 cable, like a 2-tower cable? I would assume a lot. I have a couple friends that have them. They've never really spoken with me about price, but I think like a 2-tower cable, like the cheapest it kind of gets, where it's like a solid cable, would be around like 30 grand, and then installation and digging the lake is going to cost more money, and then if you're nowhere near 3-phase power, you're going to have to either get a phase converter or you're going to have to run 3-phase power, and that's extremely expensive. I think getting power sometimes costs like well over $15,000. So yeah, it's quite an expensive thing. So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely cheaper than a wakeboard boat for sure. And it even after digging and everything, it might come out to like the same price as a new wakeboard boat. So yeah, that's about all I know. How do you learn to ride switch so well? My advice would just be to do it all the time. The more you ride switch, the more you're going to get better at it, the more comfortable you're going to be, and the easier it's just going to get. One bit of advice I would say is, like, whenever I ride regular, my shoulders are facing forward, and whenever I'm riding switch, my arms are here and I feel like I'm riding fakie. Something that does help is trying to get your chest to face the right direction, and it will help actually a lot. I struggle with committing to a trick that I'm trying to learn. How do I get past that? You have to just not be a pussy sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have to take the risk. Sometimes you're going to think like, oh man, I'm going to get smoked. And you might have to get smoked once to learn that trick. And once you get past that fear though, things get way easier. And then, yeah. So basically my advice would just be grow some nuts and fully just commit one time. And it should help you get to that trick a lot quicker. If you do get hurt though, that's not my problem. Best board for heaps of pop and flex. So sometimes if you have too much flex, then it sacrifices pop, and sometimes if your board's really poppy, it won't be that flexy, and there's kind of like a balance. It just depends on what you like. I sort of like a board that has quite a bit of flex, But if you're doing like a nose press or something, it has enough resistance to keep you from falling over the nose. It has kind of like a pressure that pushes your tail back down. That's kind of my favorite amount of flex. It may also depend on your weight too, because not every person is the same, but I'm kind of at that point. The wishbone or union is really good flex for me, so that's kind of like the best, I think. Who's my favorite wakeboarder from another country and why? Oh, that's a really tough question. I think Joe Battleday is insanely good. Actually, Pedro. Yeah, Pedro. Sorry, Joe. Pedro's probably my favorite wakeboarder from another country. Actually, Dan Castro, too. He's up there with Pedro. They're both from Brazil. They're both crazy. Like, really, really talented. The most talented kids I've ever seen. So, check out Dan Castro and Pedro Caldas. They're really, really good. How did you like Australia? Loved it. I went there in 2013, actually. This time I liked it a lot more than I liked the previous time. In my opinion, what's the best wakeboard for a flat water trick? To be honest, it would be any wakeboard that isn't super slippery. Like when people were really good at air tricks back in the day, they even had fins on their board. It like helps lock in, and you can actually do air tricks a lot better. And wakeboards nowadays are a lot more slippery on the water, so I would say maybe even an older wakeboard would be better for air tricks. A hashtag Hyperlight hashtag a few years ago, I think they stopped making it, but that board held an edge really well while still not having fins, so that would be a really good board for air tricks. But yeah, as wakeboarding has progressed to be more towards rails and kickers and stuff, the air trick, I don't know how you would say that. The boards have gotten less good for air tricks over the years. What's your favorite board you've had and why? Right now, the Union and the Wishbone. I've said that kind of, but it just has a lot of rocker. Really, really easy to ollie high. It presses really well just because you can get forward on that nose or back on that tail with that rocker. And also, it's really durable. Like if you land on a pipe and a board slide really, really hard, it's probably not going to break. It's definitely a nice board to be able to take to Philippines or somewhere far away and know that it's going to last the whole trip. So yeah, I think that a Wishbone and Union are my favorite two shapes. How are you wakeboarding during Corona? Yeah, I'm at a private cable park right now. It's really good. That's how I'm wakeboarding. Favorite things to do in the Philippines other than riding? There's this really good restaurant called Perry Happy. I like to go there like every day. Like it's like my hobby. Like I like to just go eat there more than I actually like doing any sort of activity. But unfortunately, I do have to scooter there, and I got in a pretty gnarly scooter accident over in the Philippines, so that sucks about that. But it's definitely my favorite thing to do other than wakeboard. Where am I at? I'm at the levee. I don't think I'm supposed to reveal kind of the location here, but I am at the levee. Rails or kickers? Kickers? I think kickers. Like rails are, yeah, I think kickers. I just like being in the air for a long time. I like rails too, but I think kickers right now. Can you do more vlogs? I really enjoy them. Yes, definitely can do that. What was your first trick and what board was it on? So my first trick, like that actually mattered, that wasn't like, oh, I shouldn't say that actually mattered, but my first trick that wasn't just like a jump with grabs and stuff or a 180 would be a tantrum. That was my first invert. So yeah, I did that on the board was called a swinger, and it was by Free Motion. It's a pretty old board I got from Houston Ski and Board. It was $100 with bindings. They were closing down, and it was just get rid of everything sale. So yeah, it was on a Free Motion swinger. That's the board I learned my first like trick on, the tantrum. What's the best boat that you've ridden behind? The best boat that I've ridden behind is Ashley Kidd Centurion that I share with her. I actually only rode it with stock ballast, to be fair. So I have ridden bigger wakes before whenever they're fully slammed out. But stock ballast, the wake was actually awesome. It has so much stock ballast in it already that the wake is really good out of the box. It's nice and long, but still steep on the end, so you get that nice kick. So the nice kick is super nice, but since it's long as well, it has a nice long transition to land on. The wake was super good, and I cannot wait to get back out there on it and put more weight in it and see how big we can get it. How long have you been riding when you landed your first air trick? Oh man, it's not really fair to say because like I rode boat before I rode cable. So maybe in the first couple times I went to cable, I did my first air trick. I did try them a bit and I just couldn't figure it out. But one day I was kind of wake skating at TSR and I landed heavy on my heels and it accidentally like popped me into a railie and it just clicked in my head. I was like, oh, duh. Went and put on a wakeboard, tried a railie and did it on the first go. So yeah, I don't really know how long that took. Who do you want to sponsor me the most of all? I don't know. Like everybody I ride for treats me pretty well, and I couldn't really ask for more. I'm kind of stoked where I'm at right now, so I don't really have an answer for that. Opinion on free skiing behind the boat and or the cable? I don't know. It's probably pretty fun. I've never tried it, but I'm sure it's a good time, so maybe I'll try it one day. When am I going to come to Chile? I don't know if there's cable parks there or not. Maybe there is. Comment below if there is. If so, I could definitely see myself going there one day. What was your first wakeboarding brand? I don't know if this means like the first wakeboarding brand that I rode for, but if so, that was O'Brien Wakeboards, and then I rode for CWB, and then now I ride for Hyperlite, and I'm so stoked to be able to work up to ride for my favorite brand in wakeboarding. But yeah, the first brand I rode for was actually O'Brien. Are rewinches worth it? Because the price is really expensive. I think the price is around like $2,000, which I find that price to be pretty fair. The Grinch winch, whenever that came out, it was a gas-powered winch on just a metal frame, and that was over $3,000. And this is so much more advanced than that. It's more powerful, and the pull is way more smooth. And for only $2,000, you can take this thing on the plane everywhere. I think that's a fair price. But yeah, it's really good. So make sure you guys check it out. My favorite switch trick, I think just a double cab roll. It's not like the hardest thing to do. It may seem hard because it's 2 flips in 1 jump, but it's just really nice because I don't feel like it's that hard for me. Just because, I don't know, I rotate that direction pretty well, I guess. And it's a crowd pleaser, and it's just like, I don't know, it's fun to flip twice. So favorite switch trick, a double half cab roll. That's probably it right now. Also a switch toe front 3. I like that, like a overdo the front 3 to shifty, and then yeah, like 270 shifty and then go to front 3. That's another one of my favorite switch tricks. By any chance, do you have plans on coming to Brazil? Yes, I definitely have plans at some point because Dan Castro and Pedro are there, and I would like to go ride with those boys. So I will be in Brazil at some point. As a vegan, do you think gerrymandering should be illegal? I don't know. I don't even know what gerrymandering is, so no idea. Are you coming to Shark 561 once the quarantine is over? I would like to go to every single cable park in the United States in my Prius and just drive to every single one and make a video at all of them. So hopefully this virus can end so I can start doing that now. Are you ever getting a pro model? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Not really sure, but I would be very stoked if that happened. And if it does, I would hope that quite a few of you guys would get on that, because if I were to get a pro model at some point in time, I would try and make sure that it's the best board possible. So if that were to ever happen, I hope you guys would enjoy it, but I'm not sure if that would ever happen. How hard is it to make a proper living off of wakeboarding? I'd say really hard. I'd say it's extremely hard to make a proper living off of cable wakeboarding. It took me a really long time to be able to do that. Now I'm very grateful to be doing that, but it's not only about how good you are at wakeboarding, which that is a challenge itself, is getting really good at wakeboarding, because it does take money to go to the cable park, to drive there every day, and it takes a lot of time to get to a top pro level. But that's not the only thing that's required. I mean, you need to be able to communicate well and just keep your head up and have a good attitude, and just be able to talk to sponsors, talk to people, to be able to sell product. That's a second goal. Like that's probably the first goal, being able to sell product. If people want to buy the stuff you're riding, that's extremely important, and that's not always an easy task, just because being good at wakeboarding doesn't necessarily make people want to buy what you're riding. But yeah, having a good attitude and being good with people is very important. Being able to create, you know, original content to provide sponsors with, you have to make a lot of video content, a lot of good photo content to give these sponsors. Having strong social media platforms is very important. Just getting your face everywhere and being a well-recognized rider is a really big challenge. It takes a lot of time to get there. So I'd say that making a proper living off cable wakeboarding is very difficult, and there's only a few people actually doing it. But yeah. What was your favorite feature at the Gold Coast Wake Park? My favorite feature at Gold Coast Wake Park is the little whoop curb thing. You ollie into it and do tricks out. It was super fun to use a little safety and pop over the whole thing. And yeah, I just never really had hit one of those before, so it's kind of nice hitting something new and different. So or maybe it's not different to you guys, but it was different to me just because I had never hit it before. So I had a lot of fun hitting that. When are you coming to Wake Island in California? I went there once for an event to cheer a friend on, but I've never actually wakeboarded there, so I would like to do that. The park looks super sick. Y'all had a lot of rails, the cable was big, and the weather was good, so I'd definitely like to go back. How long have you been wakeboarding professionally for? Oh man, so I don't know how to define wakeboarding professionally, but like the first time I got like a paycheck from a sponsor would have probably been like 2013, whenever O'Brien signed me on. So that's kind of whenever I first signed like a pro deal with a company. But before that, I had won like checks quite a lot earlier in like pro local boat events, so I would make money from events. But yeah, my first paycheck would have like from a company would have been in like 2013, I think. What's your best trick? I don't know. That's one of my least favorite questions, actually, because I would say that no trick is actually the best. I mean, it's just whatever feels good, you know, like making things look good, or just, I don't know, a trick that you enjoy doing. I have said the wheelies and landing in the banks and stuff. Those would be my best tricks because they're my favorite to do. But yeah, I don't think I really have a best trick. Do I surf? I wake surf a little bit sometimes, and that's pretty fun. Ocean surf I have once, maybe twice. I'm a pretty poor swimmer, so I don't really like getting crushed by waves, and it's really hard for me to paddle out. But I would like to try it a little bit more. That would be really cool, and hopefully I could get good at surfing one day. That'd be cool. Do I wakeboard behind a boat? Yeah, I actually grew up wakeboarding behind the boat, so yeah, I should be doing a lot of that this summer. Do you think it's possible to do a flip during an ollie? Yeah, people do like Bel Airs all the time, so yeah, definitely possible to do a flip during an ollie. Are the Hyperlite System Pro bindings good? Yeah, the Hyperlite Pro bindings are good. The reason I ride the low back is because the System Pro bindings are a lot more responsive than the low backs, and I don't like to have that much initial response whenever I'm riding the board. I like kind of, I don't know, a little bit of a looser feel. I like the low backs a little bit better than the pros, but the pros are good, just they're more responsive, and I don't like it as much for being that responsive. But yeah, if you want a more responsive binding, go with that one. If not, go with the low back. Are you going to hit Lunar Cable Park in Spain? So Lunar Cable Park is like super trending right now, and I definitely want to go there because there's a lot of cool stuff coming out of there, and I definitely would like to try it out. Why do CWC operators only joke about ladyboys? Boring humor, or are there ladyboys the thing at CWC? I think that just there's ladyboys in the Philippines, quite a few of them, and they're making jokes about it because I don't know, they just think it's funny. My least favorite wake park to ride in the USA. I'd say there is no least favorite wake park, just because a wake park is better than no wake park. Hotel, camper van, or tent. I think a tent, just because you have to tow the camper van, and or a hotel is pretty nice too. But if you're gonna post up for a while, maybe a camper van. What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor of all time? I don't know. I mean, as a kid, I probably would have had just like the strawberry one all the time. I'm not really that into Pop-Tarts. They're okay. Are you gonna come back to Singapore anytime soon? Yeah, if someone wants to host me, and if the wake park wants to have a little thing where we come out and ride and have fun, then yeah, I could see myself coming to Singapore. I remember it being quite expensive though. Scariest trick that I've tried is Definitely a big kicker to down rail at Rocker's house. I could probably insert the clip here, unless when I'm editing this video I might be too lazy. But it was definitely the scariest, just because like the cable kept like shutting off as I was edging into the kicker. So if that happened when I was coming up to the down rail, I would have just ran into it, and that would have really sucked. But yeah, that's the scariest thing I've probably ever tried. Kodiak or Pleasure? I know that you prefer neither of them. I haven't ridden the Kodiak, but I rode the Pleasure for like 2 laps one time. So the Pleasure is pretty good. Felt pretty similar to like a Wishbone slash Union. But yeah, I haven't tried the Kodiak yet. Looks really good though, so I can't really make that comparison yet. Hi, how is Airbud doing? Well, hey bud, how you doing? I think he's doing pretty good. He's gonna stretch for you and look pretty good for you right there. But yeah, next question. How old are you? I'm 19 years old. Are we gonna see more winching videos this year? Yes, now I have the re-winch, so there will be a lot more winching videos. When will you do the giveaway for the extra board you got? After the coronavirus, when everyone can wakeboard again, I will set up the giveaway and there will be one lucky winner. Can you do a 180 switchback? Not really sure what that means, but if it was a trick, it doesn't sound too complicated, so maybe. Will you come to Velocity again? Yeah, the Hyperlight shoot this year may be at Velocity or it may be at West Rock, so I'll probably end up at Velocity if it's there. When are you coming to Latin America? I am not sure if there's even cable parks there, but if there is, maybe send me a link of what cable parks there are, and I'll check them out, and maybe I'll come there sometime. Do you like your eggs raw or cooked? Yeah, that's a weird question. What are your top 3 cable parks? Next Level Ride, CWC, and Cable Ski Logan. How many boards do you have? Over the years, I've definitely collected a lot. I mean, I've ridden for a few different brands. I've been riding for a long time, so I don't know. A lot though, I would assume a lot. That is all the questions for today. I did end up skipping a lot because there was actually a lot of repeats. I ended up even doing quite a lot of the repeats in there anyway. But yeah, that's all the questions for today. If y'all like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Comment below what kind of videos you guys want to see next. Maybe even some videos you guys want to see out there on the lake here at the levee. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.